I've done a couple of videos about why I am a witch, but in this one I really wanted to talk about what it is about witchcraft that really resonates for me. But before I dive in, hi, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about Wicca and witchcraft, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. Witchcraft and Wicca are similar, and whilst Wiccans do practice witchcraft, witchcraft isn't necessarily Wiccan. It's much broader than that. So when I'm talking about witchcraft, I'm talking about a Wiccan form of witchcraft, not traditional witchcraft or various other different expressions of witchcraft. What attracts me to it is the connection to nature. And it's not just the physical connection to nature, it's actually more of an energetic connection to nature. It's really tuning into the spirit of nature and seeing nature as being alive and conscious, not just seeing the tree as being a nice tree or seeing the rabbit as being a cute rabbit. It's about the consciousness of the spirit of these beings and tuning into the spirit of these beings and knowing that we are connected to these beings apart from just ourselves. And that's one of the things that really attracted me to it. And one of the things I love about it is that real strong connection to nature. We also have a connection to deities that aren't about you can't do this and you can't do that. More likely deities that are here to help us be able to create here on planet Earth and to assist us with that, and that we can learn from and that we can connect with and work with. That appeals to me too. I really love the idea of working with deity as opposed to them being a puppet, and me being a puppet and them being a puppeteer, and I'm like a jellyfish in the ocean, just basically at their mercy. That's something that appeals to me too. Even within Wicca, there are many different beliefs and different traditions of Wicca now. It's not all the same. People have varying different beliefs within the Wiccan context. There are people who believe that it should be done this way, there are people who believe it should be done that way, and if you violate any of it, they will say that you're not doing it properly. But being humans and being the conscious beings that we are, we like to progress, we like to change, and Wicca is one of those religions where you can see a lot of progression and a lot of change. There are so many different types of Wicca now that it really is about what you resonate with rather than looking for the right Wicca, because there isn't any right Wicca anymore. If you're looking for the right Wicca, you'll have to go all the way back to the Gardnerian, because that's really where it started. And I know that doesn't appeal to a lot of people. So it's an evolving religion, which is another reason why I like it so much. Now I've got a whippersnipper coming in here in the background, so I do apologise for this whirring noise in the background. Think of it as some sort of weird music going on. So that's another thing that I love about Wicca. It's the ability to be progressive and to change with the times and to change with our consciousness and how we're evolving and how we're changing. So when you look at Gardnerian Wicca and then you look at a more eclectic brand of Wicca, you can see that there's changes and variations. Now that's not saying you have to throw tradition out the window. Tradition has its place. But there's also ways that you can expand on tradition to be able to bring it forward so that it doesn't fossilize in time and become like some of the other fossilized religions out there. So that's another thing about it that I really, really love. And I love how that there are people in the craft who are open to many different ways of working within the religious sort of structure or within the Wiccan form. There's a lot of variety there, and I like that variety. I'm not into labeling things too much. I think that when we label and get caught up in labels by saying I'm a this witch or I'm a that witch, and you're really attached to that, it limits your ability to be able to expand. It's great to identify with a particular type of witchcraft, but that doesn't mean that then you're only limited to that. It just means that you resonate more with that. It doesn't mean you have to limit yourself to that. So I love how nothing is concrete. in regards to our beliefs. Now, I know a lot of people wouldn't like that. A lot of people like to be told this is how it is and this is how it's always going to be and it's never going to change. There are people who need that and like to have that structure and that security. But then there are people who are more free thinkers like me who will go, yeah, but what if? And how about this? But I experienced it like this, so how does that, work with that? Other things that I really love about witchcraft is the magic. The fact that we can practice magic freely and easily, with permission. It's not forbidden. I recently did a video about why magic is forbidden. There is no sort of hierarchy out there telling you, or power possessors out there telling you can't use magic. It is something that is taught and it's embraced. And because we learn it, it becomes something we don't need to be afraid of because we actually know how to work with it. And it isn't something to be afraid of. Magic is no more scary than a knife is. So it just depends on whether it's being pointed at you or whether it's being handed to you to do something constructive with. What else do I love about Wicca? I love the rituals. I love ritual format and how ritual can be used to be able to not just put us in a sacred space psychologically, prepare us to take us away from the mundane cares of the world and put us into a place where we can connect with ourselves and nature. It also provides us with that ability to make sacred space wherever we are when we're doing a ritual. So we can create sacredness anywhere. We can make even a city street sacred if we do even a really simple ritual or meditation there. So it's the ability to be able to take our space with us wherever we go, that we don't need a building, a specific building to go to in order to feel like we're in sacred space. We learn how to create our own sacred space and take it with us. That's something that I teach in Mystery Witch School 101. And also in the daily practice 5-day course that I do called The Ultimate Guide to Starting a Wiccan Practice That Works. The link to both of those courses are in the description field below this video if you're interested. The other things that I like about the path is the people that I meet on the path. Most people who are attracted to Wicca anyway and who are really genuinely walking the path as a way to really discover who they truly are and to connect are really, really lovely people. We have a very joyous outlook on life. We're looking for the joy in life. We're looking to create joy in life. We're not looking at the doom and gloom and blaming the doom and gloom on some being or some group of people. We sort of just see these things as part of life. We've got polarity. We have the destructive side and we have the creative side. And sometimes the destructive side gets out of control. But the way that nature works is that things balance themselves out in the end in some way, shape or form anyway. And through magic, we can actually influence how things can balance out in the end. So when we're focusing on what it is that we're really wanting to bring into our lives, we can focus on that and work at raising that type of energy rather than getting caught up in perpetuating the energy we don't want. And that's part of being part of a community and part of being a magical practitioner and a spiritual practitioner. I love the way Wicca incorporates magic and the psychic stuff with spirituality, with ritual, with connection. So it's not just about spells. It's not just about divination. It's not just about having psychic powers or powers, as some people still ask me. I want the powers of a witch. It's like, what are you talking about, the powers of a witch? It's more than that. Wicca is more than that anyway. And that's what I love about it. It's combining all of these things, the spiritual side of it and the magical side of it, rather than having them split down the middle. What else do I love about it? I've talked about the deities, that I love connecting to our deities, and connecting to myself through the path as well. Now, there's not necessarily a lot of resources out there about how you can really connect to yourself. It's not something that has been part of Wiccan history for very long. This whole shadow work thing that I talk about as a result of my EFT practice is really something that is relatively new to the craft. It wasn't part of the traditional aspects of it, because back then there wasn't really a lot known about it. But now that we have all of these wonderful healing modalities and energy psychology, we can actually work on our inner selves as well now, and be able to use ritual and use gemstones and use different practices that are part of a Wiccan practice to help us connect to who we really are as well. So that's kind of like a modern progression of the craft, this whole thing around shadow work. It's something that can be added to our practice that really enriches our lives and our practice, and also helps us connect more with nature and the deities and each other, like probably better than we've ever been able to connect before. So I love how Wicca has embraced that many Wiccans have embraced that aspect of self-discovery, and that we're not limiting ourselves by an old form in some way. I'm pretty eclectic in my way of working with Wicca. I know there are people that disagree with the way that I do things, even disagree with the things I say, which is fine. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing and having a healthy, respectful debate. I also get people telling me that I'm wrong, and that I shouldn't be saying these things, and that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, things that I say are wrong and totally against the Wiccan way. And I kind of wonder then, well, which version of Wicca are you talking about? Because there's quite a few different versions. So that's the thing. People don't realize that there isn't just one Wicca anymore. And there hasn't been for a long time. You know, Gerald Gardner started out with Gardnerianism, then you had the Sanders with Alexandrianism, you've also got Cochrane's group, you had Raymond Buckland's group, you've got people who followed Scott Cunningham. All of these people had differences in the things that they taught, differences, variations in beliefs that centered around Wiccan themes, but very, very different expressions and beliefs amongst all of these groups. So there is no one Wicca, and people need to understand that. So it's really about which one resonates with me, rather than it sort of being this one form. So that's just my own personal addition to things I've said before about why I'm a witch, because I just thought it's a good time to talk about these things. We're going through changing times at the moment, and there's a lot happening in the world at the moment with, you know, COVID still, and also other things going on. Lots of changes, and I know that a lot of people are looking for spiritual ways of connecting with themselves, and we have the opportunity now to spend more time with ourselves and to spend more time thinking about our spirituality and working on ourselves from a spiritual perspective as well. So a Wiccan path and a Wiccan practice, even just a daily practice that takes 10 to 15 minutes a day, can really help you feel more grounded and connected to yourself while you're spending time maybe in isolation or not having much else to do because of lockdowns. So yeah, even just having that practice to go to every day can help stabilize you. I certainly find that it helps stabilize me. And if you're interested in setting up a really easy daily practice, do check out the Ultimate Guide to Starting a Wiccan Practice That Works. It's in the description field below this video, and it will help you set up a practice that you can change as you evolve as well. So if you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.